talking to you about governance. This looks like some circus, and we can do much better than a circus artist. Bureaucrats can bend, much stoop, and we can do dancing much better than any of you. And most important, none of you can do what we do. We can change colors at will. So this is what is I'm talking about. We deal with people, we deal with an office, we deal with files. So you say we are all filemen. We procrastinate all the telephone calls, a lot of meetings. I say meetings, eatings and cheatings. You know, this is one of the offices I went into. I keep wondering why our government offices look like this. I was here for 5 months, and after the 5th month when I went off to Harvard, this is what we converted to. Our offices should look like this, isn't it? Good ambience, good technology, things can work better in government systems also. So we're happy when the going is smooth, angry. These are the different faces of the bureaucrat. I'm talking only about the bureaucrat. Clueless, frustrated, but most of it will look like this. So what happens is that at the end of the day, we are not able to deliver to the employee or to you as a citizen. So I'm just wondering, how you tolerate us in government? No choice. Yeah, absolutely right. So how do we change those choices is what I'm intrigued with. How do we make governance world class? Now, why do we keep talking about Singapore or US or other countries when we have brilliant young boys like this, and girls, obviously, we can transform our country. And within, 60 years we have gone through. Can't we change in 5 years? It's not possible. That's what they said. If you have an idea and you're crazy enough to think like Steve Jobs, go ahead and do it. So panacea is not computerization. The panacea is what they said, transformation thinking using technology, etc. And there is where leadership comes. You are heading something, you are a leader by design, default, or by chance. And you all want to do something for your country. Unfortunately, you can't do much. Your sphere of influence limits your country. So for me, if I'm in Pumpuhar, my country is Pumpuhar, isn't it? I can't do much. I can't go to Govt and say I'll do something there. No, I can't do that. So we are all limited. A lot of things you can do world class to make that part of your country great. And if you are probably a chief minister or a prime minister, you can do much bigger things. And second thing is about, are you a product of your circumstance or a product of your imagination? That's what these boys are saying. Remove the generator, bring in something else. You have to become, as leaders, products of your imagination and not circumstance. I can't say this has been there for the last 60 years, I can't change. No. Do you want incremental change or transformational change? Do you have the integrity? Do you have no personal agenda? Is it possible absolutely to live like a sage? That's something which I want youngsters to think about, because ultimately at the end of the day, you are not doing anything for yourself. Whatever you do impacts somebody else, right? Compassion, empathy, which he was talking about, innovation, creativity, drive, and what the private sector does. If you have a vision, you'll see how it is, how it can be. If you see magicians like, what is his name, Dynamo or Chris, it's amazing to see, isn't it? It's amazing to see how they change it. That's fascinating. You don't need to see whether it's a con thing happening, but you get fascinated by the change. It's not possible to fascinate people with magical change in governance. Don't take work home or home to work, because your performance at both places will be poor. Ability to use technology. Now, I was very lucky because I headed all this. A state data center was built during my time as an MD LCOT. A state wide area network was put in. A state portal which you have seen, tn.gov.in. A state service delivery gateway, high technology items. A lot of application softwares were developed. So I imagine a day when none of you have to come to a government office and see a government officer, isn't it? You should be able to transact sitting at your home for anything that you have to do with government. We should be able to do it in the next few years. And I have innovated a lot. This is about me, a little more about me than probably, you didn't talk about yourself. But, there are certain things that individual leaders can do in their spheres of influence. Paperless offices, online grievance redressal, online employment exchange. Back to school, I brought back around 10,000 out-of-school children in Krishnagiri district. I can track every out-of-school child online using that software inside that. online certificates, you can apply from home, take a printout at home. This is done in Krishnagiri where I was collector, and now it's spread, cut and pasted all over Tamil Nadu. Almost 1 crore certificates have been issued online. I created the first rural BPO, used geofencing technology for what's called the remote inspection. So suppose you have a site somewhere in down south Ramnad, you want to see it here, you can use what is called a geofencing technology. No time to talk about it. We created what is called an all-women courier service when I was collector, Shivaganga. A lot of things, around 150 such innovations I have done. So my mantra for governance is that you as a citizen should not see government, you should be able to feel government. That can be done using technology, using modern management practices. Today, if you are getting your airline ticket, not going to the airline place, that's because of technology, isn't it? Somebody thought it's a brilliant idea that you can just use your smartphone and get it done. So that's the mantra for governance: satisfied citizen and happy administration. Now you'll be wondering what Pumpuhar has to do with. So these are out of the box thinking. I've been traditionally selling handicraft items. How do I go out of this and make a different revenue stream? So that's how we hit upon this idea of Chennai Airport, Chennai Metro Rail, corporation offices, etc. This is Coimbatore station. Now if you go to Coimbatore station, you will not know whether it's Singapore or Malaysia or Tamil Nadu. There's no element of Tamil culture anywhere there. Absolutely nothing, nothing subtle even. So I suggested that let me embellish your airport. Simply if the frontage I can change, if you allow me, I can put a little sculpture there and look like this. Simple. And the corner, what generally people do on corners, they'll go in, spit. I'll put a nice Pave Vilak there, which is bronze. I can embellish that side with this back yarn and light it up with the Nadraja, it will look beautiful. There's a green line, blue line, green line, yellow line. I'll put a nice base with green, put my sculptures there. This is one way of getting off my inventory, right? A lot of inventory sitting in my office. And you can see that white space there. There I can put some sculpture. There I can put a painting. There I can put leather puppets. It'll be so nice. People will come and watch, right? This empty space I can put Tanjavur Tatta. I can put Tanjavur paintings here. I can put paper mache. I can put these dolls there. I can put these Dwarapalakas there, right? I can put these elephants there. So it's all part of a theme. We are working with architects. I have a fantastic architect by name Rupmati Anand. She's a very senior architect. She comes with brilliant ideas. I borrowed it from her actually. But we are trying to do with you people as well. And now I am saying that's something which I want. I just want also to say why I am called a transformer. Certain things which we can do. So this is a rural BPO. Can you imagine a BPO in a village? Is my question. Is it possible to imagine world-class working happening at a village level? Is it possible to imagine 10th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard dropouts working with Fortune 500 companies? Is it possible for you to imagine? Okay, in Krishnagiri when I was collector in 2006 to 2009, we created this rural BPO. This is the inside, use a bride's room, bridegroom's room. This is what we converted it to. These are actually 10th standard dropouts. You can imagine the girls sitting at home, they get exploited. And we trained them for 218 hours. From 15 words per minute, they typed up to 75 words per minute, which is the industry average. Archana will know. From speaking, no speaking, reading, writing English to speaking, writing English. They were on NDTV 60 minutes, where 6 studios are set up all over India by Maya, I forget her name, at Bangalore. These are the girls who will, otherwise, there's a brilliant opportunity actually. A lot of the things which are repetitive in nature, you don't need to do it in Bangalore or Chennai. You can do it in villages. It's absolutely repetitive. It's like somebody said cycling. They just close their eyes and do it. So something like a recruitment process outsourcing or a typing thing, etc. can be done by these girls. And they worked with what is called US Allstate Insurance, which is a Fortune 500 company. Mind you, 8th standard dropouts worked for 4 years with many of these companies. There's another building. In 52 hours, we transformed it like this. 52 hours by, I said, it's very easy to build with brick and mortar. If you have money, if you have brick, mortar, cement, everything, you can do it. It is because Deputy Chief Minister wanted to inaugurate, we did it in 52 hours. And then the US consulate was wondering what is happening. They all came from Delhi. There's another, these are the back of beyond of nowhere. You know, I'm talking about real backward villages where we can actually create enterprises. There's another village. And Dr. Kalam personally called and came. He was so fascinated by the idea that he came, he motivated the girls. I have one last thought with me, which I want to leave with you, which is, how do we transform our villages? Not in Tamil Nadu, this picture is probably from Orissa. Tamil Nadu is fast urbanizing, right? You don't get these pictures in Tamil Nadu anymore. But a vast swathe of our country is suffering from a lot of the things which was discussed in that video also. Malnutrition, illiteracy, ignorance, insanitation. Is it not our duty to think for the poor? It's absolutely our duty. In fact, whatever you do, even if you say that you are doing for yourself, you are not actually doing for yourself. You are only doing a few things for yourself. You brush your teeth, you eat your food, you do a few things. That's all that happens for yourself. Rest of the things you are getting up daily in the morning to do for somebody else. Is that right? That's very subconsciously, if I were to take his word, very subconsciously we are doing it and think that the salary that you get at the end of the day is the biggest achievement. No. There's a lot of happiness that you can bring to these people. Just one thought I want to leave. Just imagine this room. It would have been built by somebody like him, right? But the moment the building is complete, they don't have access to it. What do you say, Satvik? You imagine the highways. Who puts the highways? The guys who put the highways don't have a cycle to ply the cycle. The moment the highway is completed, we ply our vehicles, right? Look at the irony. Look at the farmer. He gives us 4 square meals a day. He commits suicide. Look at my artisan. He gives you some wonderful handicraft items. But he himself is in penury. What I'm trying to say is that probably, the poor are cross-subsidizing our happiness. And we have a duty as a middle class, as an upper class, to think for them and ensure that all of us in our spheres of influence try to bring up these people who themselves have great aspirations for themselves. They are an aspirational community. Why do we have a lot of thefts happening here and there? That's because they're seeing on you and me on TV and trying to be, aspiring to be like us. They want fast money. So it's important that in the interest of the nation, which is now traveling probably on 2 national highways, to probably travel on 1 national highway, bring everybody along. It's possible to imagine like that and bring them back. I'm sure it can be done if everybody thinks like that. We need to be givers. We should not be takers. Absolutely no. I'm saying if you don't have the empathy for the poor, if you don't have the, whatever you do in your daily life, if you can do it without thinking about the self, giving 101%, you're doing a bit for your nation. So I want everybody here to think that like you can pursue excellence, you can pursue leadership, every living molecule on this earth have the ability and the potential. We just need to nurture it. Absolutely. Wish you all the best. Jai Hind. Thank you.